What's up, everybody? It's Izzy, and in this video I'm going to talk about the single most underrated, under-talked about aspect of recovery. This is probably the most important video that I've ever made in terms of what can actually make the biggest difference to your training. So if that doesn't get your attention, I really don't know what will. The first time I recorded this video, it was like 20 minutes, so I'm going to give you guys the Cliff Notes version of, like I said, the most important and underrated aspect of recovery that most people don't know about, and that is sleep hygiene. So if you've never heard of the term sleep hygiene before, it refers to a set of habits and behaviors and conditions to ensure that your sleep quality is optimal. So the first aspect of this is ensuring that you're sleeping in complete darkness. A lot of people just have basic blinds on their window or something like that, and this is insufficient, especially because most people in modern society do not sync their sleeping hours with the sun. They sync it with a set schedule. So many of your sleeping hours might occur while sun is already coming through the window, and if this is the case, you're already waking up to some degree and the sleep quality is going to be diminished. So I personally use blackout curtains, and if you're unfamiliar with blackout curtains, they're basically designed out of a special material created by NASA, I think, last time I checked, and it filters out sunlight. And you can find this on Amazon. They're not super expensive, and I would highly recommend doing this. Personally, I pin them over the window year-round so I can sleep in complete darkness. So that's aspect number one of sleep hygiene. Number two is turning off lights in the room. Blinking lights, LED lights especially, interfere with how quickly you can fall asleep. LED lights, such as the background for your phone or your laptop, prevent the hormonal processes that occur that help you to feel sleepy and go to bed on time. So if you can help it, most sleep specialists recommend that you do not use a phone or a laptop within 30 minutes of trying to go to bed. So this is key. Personally, I have like chargers that blink if I don't cover them up. So I always turn off my, extension cords, or I cover up anything that I can't turn off so that the blinking light does not keep me from falling asleep quickly or disturb me in the night. All right, so that's an underrated aspect that's very hard in today's world when people are constantly attached to their electronics. Number three is controlling for sound. So some of you are going to live in a noisy area. I once lived by a train station where trains would come almost every hour. And in that scenario, like if you live in a busy metropolitan area, the best solution is earplugs. Now you do have to be a little bit careful with earplugs because you might not wake up to your alarm, or you might have a scenario where there's an emergency like a fire and you just don't wake up because of the earplugs. So that can be a little bit on the scary side, but depending on the area that you're in and if you have roommates and you have relative safety measures set up, it may be okay. On the other hand, for most of you guys, white noise will be sufficient. I personally use a giant fan. And this for me is key because right now I live in apartments and I have roommates. So with the big fan going, it blocks out most of the noise from the outside and or from my roommates waking up before me, and allows me to continue to get good quality sleep without being disturbed by sounds. So we've got light from the sun, light from electronics, and controlling for sounds. The next general category is personal preference as far as comfort goes. You really need to invest in being comfortable. Anyone who slept on the floor or on a crappy couch can tell you that you will not go to sleep as quickly or as deeply if you're not comfortable. So there's obviously multiple aspects to this. Probably one of the most important is temperature. You should be, in my opinion, people pay like $50 for crap supplements. So maybe you should invest that $50 in setting the temperature, setting the thermometer on your apartment or your house where you actually want it, for your preference to fall asleep. Personally, I like it cold, like 65 degrees. Most people prefer something in that, 65 to 75 degree range, and whatever your personal preference is, I would encourage you to invest in the extra bill to make it so that you fall asleep more quickly and more deeply, putting it at the temperature that you personally prefer. The next is the quality of your pillow and blankets. So a lot of people don't know this, but pillows get old and they lose their support. If you can fold your pillow in half without it unfolding itself, the pillow is old and has lost most of its support, and it's recommended that you get a new one. I get new pillows every 3 to 6 months, and I found that this has made a big difference in making sure that I'm comfortable and getting the support that I need for my pillows. I also personally have a goose down blanket, so I think that's another key. And of course, it goes without saying that your mattress should be to your preferences as well in terms of firmness. And if you don't know, mattresses do wear out and get old, the box springs and the actual mattress itself, and they need to be replaced every once in a while. And if your mattress is getting to the point where it's not firm enough and you're having problems with your back or the quality of sleep, you should consider getting a new mattress. And I know that all of these things are relatively expensive, especially compared to like whether or not you should get creatine or beta-alanine, but the things that I'm talking about will actually directly improve your total very quickly. Very, very quickly. Okay, the last one outside of that personal comfort when we're talking about blankets, pillows, temperature, is people who are overweight in terms of BMI, not necessarily body fat, have a higher incidence of sleep apnea. So one of the strongest predictors of sleep apnea is neck circumference. So anybody with a neck over about 17 inches, which is roughly 42 to 43 centimeters, greatly increases your risk of getting or developing sleep apnea. Now, sleep apnea varies in severity, but this is an issue that is increasingly common among powerlifters, especially enhanced lifters who tend to just be bigger in general, especially relative to their height. However, it's also fairly common in large male lifters. Once you start getting above maybe like the 205 to the 231 weight classes, that's where this starts to be more and more common. But like I said, the number one predictor is neck size. So you could still have this issue and be a smaller individual if you have a really big neck. And sleep apnea destroys sleep quality. It destroys it to the point where it can totally crater your testosterone levels. It can just ruin everything that's going on inside of you hormonally. You can look this up for yourself. So one of the best things that you can do for your life in general, not just your physical performance, but your life in general, is if you have sleep apnea, to get a CPAP. And the difference that this can make can really be night and day in terms of the quality of your recovery and even quality of life. So guys, it's very important to remember that sleep has a metric buttload of research out there about it, because sleep impacts your performance in every aspect of life. It's not just for powerlifting or athletics, but stockbrokers, doctors, and anyone who's concerned with performance at all will have their performance affected by low quality sleep. So if you're somebody who does not get enough sleep or you get poor quality sleep, addressing this aspect of recovery is the single most important thing that you can do. It's the single biggest difference you can make to your recovery that will allow you to immediately train more and recover better from the training that you're doing. So I cannot emphasize this enough. Sleep hygiene is a major, major key. It's major though. So again, let me run over a real quick review of the video. 1, darkness. You can get blackout curtains if you don't already have them, but sleeping in complete darkness will make a huge difference. 2, avoid LED lights 30 minutes before bed. Cover up blinking lights when you go to sleep. This is things like your phone, your laptop, anything like that. Next, we're going to talk about sound. So you can either get earplugs. They do take a while to get used to, but once you do it for 2 weeks, you'll forget about it. Or you can get a white noise generator, which is what I personally do. A big fan tends to work very well. Next is personal comfort factors. So temperature. Set the temperature to what you personally prefer. I like it to be cold when I go to bed. Okay? Everyone's different though. Make sure your pillows are high quality and new. They should still be providing support. Get blankets that you like. Get a mattress that is new and high quality. It should be the firmness that you personally prefer. And again, if you have a large neck over 17 inches or about 42 to 43 centimeters, you're at greater risk for sleep apnea. And if you have that, maybe have someone see if you snore or stop breathing in your sleep at all. And that can be a sign that you could get that checked out. And correcting sleep apnea will make a huge difference in your sleep quality and your overall recovery. Anyways, guys, that's all I have to say about this. Remember, people are always looking for ways to recover faster. And this is one that actually matters. It actually works. If you improve your sleep hygiene, you can greatly improve your recovery. And the only other way to do that is maybe eat like a massive caloric surplus or take drugs. So this is a huge advantage if you know about this and you know how to have good sleep hygiene and you get enough sleep and you get quality sleep. Anyways, remember, sleep hygiene, majorly important. Learn about it. As always, my friends, good luck with your training and have a nice day. Peace.